There's something we introduced of recent in our school, etiquette.
Oh, okay.
Last time we began etiquette, we started with the senior school, and we saw that we got feedback from parents that, this is nice. Even their children are correcting them at home.
Yeah.
Mom, you are not supposed to talk this way. Mom, you
Yeah.
are not supposed to stand this way. This is how you are supposed to sit.
Nice, yeah.
And they said, why not involve all the whole school? One part, you said we are just trying to see how we are able to marry it. But now we are all doing it in the school, and the children are happy with it. So we noticed that we have lost it. When it comes to etiquette,
yes,
you see children not greeting, you see children not walking the way they are sort of dressing and all those things. So we have lost our culture. We are trying to modernize.
Yes.
Over there, this is what we do. That is not our cultures.
Welcome back to Just Africa for today. And of course, in the second segment of today's show, we'll be celebrating, I'll call it a colossus, because it's one of the schools that have helped to shape the society in Nigeria is celebrating 100 years. The St. Mary's Private School, of course, it's a mission school. And we've got one of the supervisors here to come and, have a brief tete-a-tete with us. Tell us about how the school has been and how it has been able to shape young persons to be better persons of the society. Of course, I'm not going to share this table alone with me. I've got the very veteran journalist himself, Mr. Bayo Olaoye, with me, and to help us to unpack this conversation. Of course, Baba, I'm definitely not going to have this one alone.
I'm glad to be here. Emotionally, I'm glad to be here, and spiritually, I want to welcome Sister as a Catholic.
Yes.
I worship in the Holy Cross Cathedral.
Yeah.
My father was a former headmaster of Holy Cross School.
Okay.
So I feel that
I'm
part of this celebration.
This celebration, yes. Don't worry. I know we definitely can't leave you out in this conversation.
My mother attended St. Mary's Private School.
Oh.
We are so rest in peace. She would have been 118 or 111.
Yes.
I'm 76, but so I think I'm part of
this. But if we were to puncture, how do you see, I mean, your mother is it, but then again, how do you think this kind of mission schools help to shape Lagosians, by the way, but then again, by extension, Nigerians, with the kind of values that they teach?
The St. Mary's Private School had carved a niche for itself. You are talking about branding. It has branded itself so many years ago because of those values that our grandfathers and our grandmothers bequeathed to us. Morality, integrity, values, respect, hard work. And so, products of, you remember our sister and our matriarch, Chief Judukoka, people like that were brought up in private schools with that kind of benchmark of morality and obedience. So, we're celebrating excellence in the center of excellence.
True, I like that pun. Of course, we're not to waste time because I really want us to dive straight into the conversation. So I'm welcoming Sister Francisca Iyorah to the conversation. OLA, she's the supervisor of St. Mary's Private School, who interestingly celebrating 100 years. I jokingly said a person before we came on air that the school is older than Nigeria itself. But very welcome to today's episode of the show, Sister Francisca. How has today been?
Yeah, thank you very much. Today has been good. We thank God for
How is preparation for the 100 years? I did not ask you. Because you look like there's plenty of work that needs to be done.
There's a lot to be done, actually, and it has been tasking. Trying to involve the ex-learners to be part of the celebration.
Okay.
Because the school has really produced a lot of people in the high society in the country. So celebrating it on our own without involving them will not be nice. So we are trying to reach out to many of them to come and join us in the celebration. Actually, the main celebration will be next year, 2026, because the school was founded in 1926. We are trying to begin the celebration this year. We are using an academic year for this celebration with different activities lined up. And we actually started last week with a symposium, and it was an interesting one that Vanguard carried it, and it was interesting. And we are trying to also still reach out to many of them that are not aware with different means of communication to get
them
involved. Yeah, and a lot of them have been showing interest, and I feel happy hearing people saying positive things about the school, and then like our grandmothers and then great grandmothers. I remember a parishioner that told me on Sunday in the church that the grandmother went to our school, the mother went to our school, and she herself went to our school.
And she's a grandmother already.
And she's a grandmother already, and she's very happy to participate with us. And it will also interest you that Donald Duke went to our school.
Okay.
Yeah, he finished from St. Mary's Private School. And then the present First Lady of Lagos State finished from St. Mary's Private School.
Okay, at this point, there's no need to argue when it comes to the high and mighty in the society that school has touched. But then again, I want, because I know Baba has a lot of questions he wants to throw at you. But then I wanted to ask, the school, because when we were having the conversation outside, you did mention that the school had different tiers. It's not just one for the girls. I think it had different types. So just run us through that one before we do the one at a time.
We can't talk about the private school without starting with the convent school.
Okay.
We have 3 in one school.
Okay.
The first one is St. Mary's Convent School. That was the initial school the early missionary sisters of Our Lady of Apostles founded. So the school was founded in 1873, and they were in charge of the school. The main purpose, they taught the Brazilian children, the Portuguese children, and the main purpose was mainly to train the young girls for marriage.
Okay.
To become a good housewife. There were a lot of, what they were mainly teaching was home economics, how to take care of the homes and all. Then later on, there was a need for proper education because the convent school was mainly for girls. So people started demanding for a proper education, and that was how St. Mary Private School was founded for both boys and girls. And later on, the convent school began because one of the school was for language only. They use vernacular, while the other one is English. So we have 3 in one schools. 2 of the schools, the convent school, later was taken over by the government. Till today, it's still the government school. And the other one, St. Mary's Girls' School, is also for the government. Just the private school that still belongs to the church. That is the Miss School. The other 2 schools are Girls' School and the government school.
Okay. Sister, I have 2 questions. In this era now in Nigeria, we're talking about the girl child. In fact, the girl child is an endangered species because she's been abused, misused, and sometimes underused. Now, in an environment like the City of Excellence, the Center of Excellence Lagos, we have girls hawking, girls doing jobs, menial jobs, and that kind of thing. And then another question is language. People are clamoring that we should use indigenous languages in education. I want you to look at this in the light of the standards that you want to keep. Would you consider indigenous language in schools that are run by the private sector in the view of calls, even by government, that we should use our local languages, indigenous languages very well? And we're talking about just Africa. So,
and using our local language in schools, it will be very difficult because to really get teachers, let's start with the teachers. You have to train them because most of our teachers cannot even speak their local languages. So it will start with getting teachers prepared for that. But using the local language alone, does that mean that our children will not move out of this country one day, what will happen to them when they go? I'll have the opportunity of going out,
people, yes.
Of mixing up with other people from other countries.
Yeah.
So I will advise that we balance it.
Okay.
We balance it. It's good to teach our children our local language. It's
Yeah.
beautiful, but using it alone in education setting, and I will not really subscribe to that.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Sister, and I will also agree with you that we don't have the books. We don't have the writers. And it's across board. All languages, all indigenous languages now are now saying that there are not enough teachers, there are not enough books, people are not writing. And then that brings us to the question of colleges of education in the country. Should they not be producing teachers in every ramification? Should they not be attending to trends in the society? So, how should we take this? Because we're still talking about the girl child.
Yeah. Talking about the girl child, one of our charism for my congregation, Sisters of Our Lady of Apostles, we are founded for the upbringing of a girl child and then vulnerable children.
Okay.
That was the main reason we were founded.
Yeah.
At first, when the missionaries arrived, they were finding it difficult to get through to evangelize.
Okay.
And that was the main reason we were founded, to help the women, especially in particular, especially. That was the main reason we were founded. And talking about, still going back to that our local language of a thing, before we can go back to that, all of us, both the teachers, College of Education, lecturers, everything, we have to go back to school. I will still go back to that because we don't have it. I cannot boast of speaking my language. I can speak it, but there's difference between speaking and expressing yourself with it.
Yes.
It's a different thing entirely. And also writing it.
Writing it, yes.
Are parents helping the issue? There are some parents that will see that you speak English to their children.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do
In
that.
fact, I had that problem at the time.
Yes.
I was speaking
Both
English.
parents and lecturers,
Yes.
we have to go back to class as well to be able to implement that.
Same thing. So I know that, 100 years celebrating St. Mary is big, right? And just like you rightly said, you've been able to shape caliber people in society, high-ranking people. I noticed that the missions that started the initial convent had a target, right? Oh, let's prepare girls for marriages, prepare them for family. Right now, what is the aim? What is the target that St. Mary, as it were, whether the convents, whether the mixed schools, whichever one, what are the missions or the visions that they've had or they have right now?
Yeah, the initial target, it was education in every
Okay.
preparing girls for marriage as housewife, or we deal with education. So but we still continue with that.
Okay.
We always give our best to our learners and our students wherever we are working. And a lot of people who have gone through our school say a lot, like Emian Saludo.
Oh, Sanusi, yes.
Finished from one of our schools in Kaduna.
Oh, okay.
I remember the year he went to Ireland. He went to one of our convents in Ireland, and he went to the grave of one of our sisters that taught him. I went to the graveyard, and he's a Muslim. We don't discriminate. We focus on education. We give the best,
irrespective of your religion,
where you are coming from. So we are always happy seeing our past learners and our past students doing well in the society.
Yeah.
And that is what keep encouraging us to always
continue.
give the best.
Yes. I do like the fact that it's not, when you say education, it's not just only book.
It's not just
English
only book.
So
Morals.
Morals. Yeah, because I do know that is what the society currently needs. And then the fact that you people have continued the momentum. But then again, there's this part where government comes and then infuses their own. Does it still happen when they come and influence maybe your subjects or what you do? Do they still do that?
We use the government's curriculum and
Okay.
our own.
Okay.
There's an agreement between us and the government.
Okay.
Like the new curriculum that just came out.
Yes.
And we are looking for a way to implement it, to add it to our own curriculum.
Okay.
Every academic session, we bring that of the government, we bring that of
The school, yes.
And we
Marry
blend
it.
it.
Oh, okay.
Sister, in fashioning out a new curriculum that is modern, what subjects do you think should be included? In our own days, we had hygiene and nature study, general intelligence, and all that. But now, modernity, technology is beckoning on us that from primary school, children should be taught certain things. In relation to current trends, what subjects do you think
we should add? Okay.
Our children should start learning at the early age? We can talk about computer science, but that is not the basic, outstanding culture that we want our children to imbibe.
I was happy when this new curriculum came out and I saw something on technology.
Okay.
As it, not technology per se,
AI.
not AI, teaching
Digital.
craft.
Okay.
Teaching children how to
vocational studies.
vocational studies.
Okay,
Thank you very much. I was happy to see that. And if we are able to implement that, it will help our children in future. Okay. And also there was something we introduced of recent in our school, etiquettes.
Oh, okay.
Etiquettes. We just introduced it. Last time we began etiquette, we started with the senior school, and we saw that we got feedback from parents that, this is nice. Even their children are correcting them at home. Yeah. Mom, you are not supposed to talk this way. Mom, you are not supposed to stand this way. This is how you are supposed to sit.
Nice, yeah.
And they said, why not involve all the whole school? Why you said we are just trying to see how we are able to marry it. But now we are all doing it in the school and the children are happy with it. So we noticed that in this, we have lost it. When it comes to etiquette, you see children not greeting, you see children not walking the way they're dressing and all those things. So we have lost our culture. We are trying to modernize. Over there, this is what we do. That is not our culture. So that is why we are trying to bring out that culture. We are trying to sweep away to introduce it to our children.
Sister, I want to talk about parenting because I'm a grandmother, I'm a grandfather, and I've seen that with the best of intentions, some of our children or some of my children take things for granted. What has parenting got to do with modern education or educating a young child? What has parenting got to do? That is the mother and the father combining to train a child. Now,
I remember when I was growing up, there's a saying that said, the environment, the community come together to train a child. Yes. But presently, you cannot even correct a child that is not your biological child. You try to correct a child, you will hear the mother or the father fighting you for correcting the child. So people trying to ignore even when they see the child doing what is not right. Yeah, parenting these days, with the looking at the society, we have a lot of single mothers. A lot of them were not well brought up, I'm sorry to say, or the parent tried and they missed it. Imagine a mother that is not well cultured. Yeah. How do you expect that mother to train somebody else? Yeah. Somebody else? That is where the problem is. And we're trying to correct that child. Sometimes we get insult from parents, especially these days that you are not allowed to flog a child in this in the society. And you see these children, because those days they will say, spare the rod and spoil the child. Yes. But these days, try and some of them you shout it tomorrow, they will not listen. But sometimes when you use that cane, they feel threatened. But these days, because of child abuse and all, we have kept
do you think social media has something to do with all these things we have been talking about? Because you find that even parents too are addicted to the phones, the children are addicted to the phone, and so what have you? Distractions.
There's
and
a lot of
disobedience.
distraction of social media, actually. Sometimes I scold parents. Early in the morning, they give their children phone to be watching
Whatever
movie or whatever. You see a child of 2 years can operate a phone. During our time, there was nothing like that.
Yes.
So
The distractions are so
the
many.
distractions were not there. So we focus more on phone, and it's affecting the children negatively. And you see some parents, when the child is crying, what they use to pet the child is phone. It's not supposed to be. So it's something that parents should really look into. When you leave it for the school cannot do it. You have your children with you at home, and the children come to spend some hours with us in the school. So sometimes we try to teach them, but they go home, they pick up the habits the parents have already taught them. Yes. So it's kind of difficult. But we try to encourage our parents, but sometimes you talk is as if you are pouring water on a rock. Yeah, it does not really sink.
I was going because I funny enough, just even today, I had a conversation with a friend who is a teacher, and then she was lamenting. Let me just use the right word. And then one of the things she said was a child faked that she was sick. From the house, the child was okay. I was going to school. Got to school and said she was sick and needed to go back home. So the school allowed her to go home, but she never went back home. So they now found the child in the street, on the road, perhaps maybe on her way to somewhere else, which is supposed to be school time. When the matter now got to the school, the parents were blaming the teachers that why did you let this child go home without communicating to us first? And the teachers were saying, if you had cultured this child well from the house, she probably wouldn't have played this trick on us. But the blame game kept going between teachers and parents. How do we ensure that teachers are not taking the fall for the irresponsibility of parents?
Let me use the example you just started.
Yes.
When a child is sick, starting from late coming, because we are very strict with assembly.
Yes.
You must be on
the assembly ground. Yes.
7:30 is our assembly. Once it's 8 o'clock, the gate is locked. We give you 5 minutes of grace. Then 5 past, we open the gate. After then, once you come late, you go home. If you come to school alone, you will sit with the security man sometimes. Or we call your parents if they are not with you. If a child is sick, we advise parents, when your child is sick from home, don't bring the child to school. Call either the teacher or the sessional head to inform them, my child is not fine. He or she cannot come to school. It will be noted. When you bring the child to school and we notice the child is not well, we take the child to sick bay and we call the parents immediately because our sick bay, we don't give medication. It's just for the nurse to make sure that the child is okay before the parent comes to pick the child. So we don't allow our children to go home on their own. Even if they come to school on their own, we try to call the parents to make sure either the mother or the father or any of the relatives to come and pick the child. So leaving the child, children, they can be mischievous.
Yes.
You can't say. Leaving is risky for the child, especially with this society we are now. Anything can happen to the child. So we don't allow our children to go that way.
But again, St. Mary at 100, I mean, it's been a long legacy, and I do know that you have standards for everything. I was going to ask, is it the day and boarding, or is just only day school?
It's only day school. It's a primary school.
Oh, it's only primary?
It's primary.
So they always go home and then come every time?
Yes.
So are there any plans to extend to secondary? Because I mean, at the end of the day, look.
If we are to extend to secondary, we don't have space.
Oh, okay.
We don't have
So
space.
it's part of what you'll be asking for now. If you are supposed to get donors, for example.
If God blesses us this moment.
Sister, there's another notorious group when you're talking about education in Nigeria. Parents Teachers Association. They claim power, they negotiate power, they enforce, and that kind of thing. I don't know your experience, because even the authorities themselves have found that this powerful body of parents.
For my part, I have not really experienced a tough
Parent association. Okay.
The present executive I met, they have been trying their best to make sure that the discussion between the school and parents go in line, as in, they are the representative of the parents and they come to school with dialogue, make sure that we arrive at an agreement, and they go back and relate whatever it is to the parent during the general meeting. So I have not really experienced
It's fine. I mean, we like that. This is something that since there's a collaboration between parents and teachers, is fantastic. If you were to be asked,
because we have what is the constitution that guides us.
Oh, okay. It's like a country on its own. But then again, if you were to be asked, because this is 100, and I'm sure there are still things that the school needs. If you're given this platform and say, okay, please, there are some things I need help with, or the school needs help with, please, can you highlight some of them?
As I said earlier, we always give the best.
Yes.
And we continue to give the best. To enable us to continue the foundation that was laid down by our early missionaries. And the world is changing, especially with technology.
Yes.
We'll be happy to upgrade the school to some extent, physical appearance and in education and all. And you made mention of secondary school. If the government, not only our school, maybe if the government feel that some of our schools that have been taken over by government can be returned back to the mission, it will be a great deal for us. I will be very grateful, because sometimes you go back to this school, we feel sad with the state of the school, and there's a saying that our early missionaries, especially those that are no more, how will they be feeling after their sweat of trying to, So
I do feel a bit of emotion with it, because I went to Immaculate's it's supposed to be a school that is close to St. Agnes, Maryland. And then there's Maryland Comprehensive, which was adjacent to us.
That is our school too.
Yeah, so I know Maryland Comprehensive has gone back to mission, but Immaculate is still a comprehensive school. You can tell the difference even from aesthetics from outside when you come and then you see it. I'm a proud Immaculate student, by the way. But then again, I used to see that difference, and I always wished that we went back to the mission school, because the standards are there. We're not saying government does not try. But then again, in the difference that you can see, you do wish that our education can get better. Is there any policy that government can do now other than just returning it back? The ones that are still in their hands, is there any policy you feel that they can do that can get them better, or get them back to the standards that the missionaries had left?
To get them back at the state where the missionary left it, actually will be a difficult, I don't know. It's not difficult for the government to do, actually. It's a matter of interest, and then a matter of sacrifice. And this is where you get, you want to give the best out of for the society.
Yes.
When you want the society to be okay, give them the best, so that tomorrow they will not lack anything. I will encourage the government that when the school is not just only the building of its own, constant supervision matters a lot. You cannot just put a principal in the school or a headmistress in the school and you back out without knowing how they are running the school. Supervision is very important. I think that is one policy
that they can try.
Exactly.
Sister, we cannot end this conversation, this discussion, without talking about the Gen Zs, the youth, the future leaders of tomorrow. And I'm talking about patriotism. You find an American kid saying, I love America. But that is not the case with our own youth that we are bringing up now. And you have an agency called National Orientation Agency saying that it's imbibing the culture of patriotism in youth. I don't know how they are doing it, but as a stakeholder in education, what do we do about our patriotism? President Tinubu said something, Nigeria first policy. All those are just rhetorics, but sincerely and deliberately How can we encourage our
children to be patriotic, right?
To encourage them to be proud of what is ours.
To be Nigerian.
I don't know.
Teaching, they say, is not only when you teach 1 + 1. A lot of us learn by seeing.
Okay.
Seeing somebody alone. And we are all looking up to our leaders in the society. They are saying it, they are imbibing words. Are we really seeing
it? Yes.
It's only when we see it that you expect the youth to feel that, inclusiveness.
Yes.
If they are not seeing it, they will not be able to,
be a part of it. Yes.
Of who they are. Yes. So it's a matter of, a lot is happening in the country, yes. It's a matter of our leaders they should try to make the country better for everybody.
Should we teach history? Should we teach African history in schools?
We teach history.
Okay.
Even in primary school.
Okay.
History is back. I think they remove it at a stage from the curriculum.
Yes.
Now it's back. Even in our school presently, we teach history. If you teach history, yes, we teach history. As I said, there is still something like, you are teaching me how to dress. Let me use that as an example. You that is teaching me, but you are not well dressed.
Yes. So it's more like do what I say rather than do what I'm doing.
You are teaching me the history. Maybe when you even look at the history, I think I don't know. I think our past beginning is even better than the state we are now. Because when you look at the history of our country, you will think things will be far better than what we are. We are not improving. Instead, it's as if
regressing. Yeah.
I don't know what.
Anyway, I want us to wrap up the highlights of the conversation, which is St. Mary at the 100. Run us through the program. I already said you did symposium. Run us through what you have planned going forward to 2026.
We began on the 6th with a symposium, and then we talked about the role of education, fostering holistic development, and then addressing global issues amid 21st century and challenges. Then on the 22nd of November, by the grace of God, will be the flag up ceremony. Actually, we have begun all this way with community service.
Okay.
Going to the streets to give back to the society, cleaning the environment. So on the 22nd of this month will be the flag off. We begin with the Holy Mass, then with the reception in the school compound. Then next year we have a community clinic outreach, whereby we invite the community to come for health checkup. If we have maybe paracetamol we can assist them with, we give to them. Then we have with the grand finale actually will be on the 24th of July. On the 24th of July. And before then, there's another event that will come up on the 7th of that July before the grand finale. The grand finale, we hope to wrap it up with the graduation of the basic 6 next year by the grace of God.
Oh, interesting. So what has I know St. Mary is a mission school, but then again, your proximity to the cathedral is very, very pivotal. Have you been getting enough support from the Archbishop, for example, Alfred Martins?
Archbishop is the proprietor.
He's the proprietor
of the school.
Yes,
Okay. So, I mean, support from the church itself to the school. You've been getting that massive support from them?
Yes.
Okay.
Because a lot of the parishioners, they finish from...
Oh, interesting. So it kind of works.
Sister, let's conclude in this way. What will you be telling the Nigerian child despite the peculiar challenges? No water, no light, no road, and so on and so forth. I just want you to send a message to the Nigerian child.
For me, I believe it is a state. Every we have stages of life. is not something that will be permanent. It will be better one day. That is our hope, and that is what we preach, and we believe in that. And we believe that God will bring all these things, all this suffering we are going through will become a history one day. And we continue to pray. We don't lose hope as Christians. And we believe that things will get better.
Yeah, that's the optimism. And of course, we keep that sharing that optimism with even our viewers out there. Special thanks to Sister Francisca Iyorah to come, of course, of Our Lady of Apostles, who came to sit with us and, of course, enlighten us with the whole St. Mary's celebration of 100 years. We do hope that we're going to be part of that celebration as well. And, of course, we're using the opportunity to also thank our first guest who was with us, Mr. Olamide, who is at COP30 in Brazil. We'll definitely give you updates from there. So thanks to Ba Olaoye as well, who also sat with us throughout today's conversation. Of course, still stay with us on Sook News Television, and of course follow us on all our social media platforms at Sook News TV. We're going to bring you more stories, and of course at 12 at the top of the hour, we're bringing you news headlines. Do not forget, as I said, we'll bring you again interesting conversations on Just Africa tomorrow. So do well to stay with us. I remain Emmanuel Amelo, and of course, have a wonderful afternoon.